The Silent Manor, a tale of blood and shadows. Greetings, dear listeners. Tonight, I bring you a tale that will make the walls of your room shiver, a story so chilling it will gnaw at your courage and keep you awake. Dim the lights, put on your headphones, and step with me into the shadows of the Silent Manor. Silence isn't always quiet. Sometimes it screams. And miles away from the city, deep within the tangled forest, stood an ancient mansion wrapped in such silence. Its crumbling walls were green with moss, the iron gates rusted and groaning in the wind, as though mourning decades of forgotten horrors. Locals whispered that a curse slept in its foundation, a curse that awakened only for those daring or doomed enough to enter. Isha had just married Vikram, full of laughter, dreams, and naive hope. She imagined her life unfolding like a fairy tale. On her wedding day, dressed in a red sari, she felt as though she was stepping into paradise. But the moment she crossed the threshold of the mansion, an unnatural chill wrapped around her, a cold that no summer wind could bring, a cold that reeked of tombs and mourning. The source was clear. Maya Devi, Vikram's mother, wrapped in a ghostly white sari, her forehead marked with a crimson streak resembling blood. Her eyes held no maternal warmth, only hunger, like a predator sizing up its prey. The first few days passed with forced obedience, but soon the mansion revealed its true nature. Vikram, once a man who promised her the stars, had turned into a silent, lifeless shadow of his mother, deaf and mute to Isha's suffering. Maya Devi's tyranny was absolute. At night, Isha was confined to her room. At dawn, she was forced to labor in the decayed corners of the mansion, where bats nested for decades. Every step she took echoed through the dark corridors, and even the sound of her anklets became a torment, a reminder of her vulnerability. Months passed. Her body became fragile, her spirit battered. Meals were meager, punishments frequent. A grain of salt in her food could earn a scolding. A crease in her sari could leave her standing all night in the courtyard. Her face became hollow, eyes ringed with black shadows. The reflection in the mirror frightened her more than Maya Devi ever could. And Vikram, he sat reading newspapers, indifferent to the storm of cruelty consuming his wife. His silence hurt more than the slaps. Then came the night of the storm. The sky roared as if the heavens themselves were enraged by the mansion's sins. Lightning tore through the darkness, illuminating the decrepit halls in sharp, fleeting flashes. Isha was in the kitchen, trembling, fevered, attempting to prepare tea. Her hands shook violently as she extended the cup toward Maya Devi, but the matriarch's patience snapped. In a single instant, the boiling liquid cascaded across Isha's face. Screams tore through the mansion, her delicate skin blistering, burning as pain and rage melded into one. Maya Devi's words struck harder than the flames. "Your father taught you this, didn't he? A low-born girl like you. Today I will teach you a lesson you will never forget for 7 lifetimes." She grabbed Isha by her hair, dragging her across the kitchen floor. And Vikram, he remained a lifeless statue. The despair inside Isha transformed into a dark, blinding fury. In a heartbeat, she spotted the heavy iron griddle beside her. Without hesitation, she swung it with all her remaining strength. The sound of impact was grotesque, like a melon shattering, and Maya Devi collapsed, her eyes wide with the shock of her own mortality. Blood spread rapidly across the white tiles of the kitchen, and for the first time, silence returned. But this time, it was Isha who created it. Her breaths came like the bellows of a blacksmith, hot and heavy. Fear clawed at her mind. She had to hide the evidence. The mansion's ancient cellar held a massive ebony chest, long forgotten. Isha dragged Maya Devi's lifeless body, every step echoing like thunder in the cavernous, damp space. The chest exuded the scent of old wood and decay. With every ounce of strength, she forced the body inside, slamming the lid and securing it with a massive lock. She cleaned the kitchen, wiped the blood from the floor, but the iron scent lingered, clinging to her like a shadow. When Vikram returned, Isha lied, her voice trembling. Mother went to her sister's village for urgent work. Vikram didn't question. Perhaps even he craved peace. But in this mansion, peace never came. That night, as she tried to sleep, the mansion's atmosphere shifted. An eerie scratching emerged, faint at first, like nails scraping wood, coming from below. Isha muffled her mouth with a sheet, hoping it was her imagination. But then came the stench, rotting flesh, damp earth. The next night, the sounds grew closer, footsteps, heavy and wet, ascending the stairs. Isha's heart pounded violently, her instincts screaming to flee. Yet as she tried to block out the sounds, a cold wind whispered directly into her ear. "Where is my tea?" The words, soft yet lethal, made her scream. She bolted, desperate to check the chest, to see her secret was safe. The cellar door stood ajar. The darkness beckoned, swallowing her as she descended. The torch trembled in her hand, revealing the horror. The lock on the chest was broken, the lid open, and deep crimson paw-like stains marked the path leading out. Someone or something had escaped. From the shadowed corner came a sound, the grinding of bones, slow and deliberate. Isha's torch flickered over a figure that had been human, but now was a nightmarish specter. Maya Devi's head hung at an unnatural angle, her skull partly crushed by the griddle. Her eyes were gone, replaced by pits of void, and her lips moved, mimicking the living with a grotesque semblance of life. Isha tried to retreat, but the ghost drifted towards her, claws elongated into blackened talons. She gasped, frozen, when Vikram awoke upstairs, alerted by a crash. He ran towards the cellar. "Isha, what are you doing here?" But before he could reach her, an invisible force hurled him aside. Isha dangled mid-air, hands clawing at nothing, as the phantom tightened her grip around her throat. Her blue lips trembled, eyes wide with terror, pleading for a miracle. The next instant, a sickening snap. Her neck twisted unnaturally. She crumpled to the ground, lifeless by the chest. The police arrived. Investigations found nothing but an empty chest, no body, no proof. Vikram claimed she had seizures. The villagers whispered that Maya Devi had fled, but the mansion held the truth, locked within its decaying walls. Post-mortem reports claimed Isha died of asphyxiation, yet the strangulation marks were deep, beyond human reach, leaving the doctors baffled. Her last encounter had been something beyond comprehension, something that bent the rules of life and death. The mansion now stands deserted, yet it is far from silent. Travelers who pass on stormy nights speak of dishes clattering in the kitchen and the chilling scream of a woman weeping and whispering, "Where is my tea? Where is my tea?" The silent manor waits, hungry, patient, and relentless. Those who dare approach feel the weight of unseen eyes, the cold breath of the past brushing against their necks. And somewhere in the shadows, Isha's voice still echoes, caught between life and death, warning those who listen. In that house, silence is never empty, and fear is never imaginary.